Welcome to the latest development update for the upcoming Acuity fully decentralized atomic swap exchange. I'm the founder, Jonathan Brown. The main purpose of this exchange is to facilitate fully permissionless trading between currencies in the Acuity ecosystem, such as ACU, and currencies on other blockchains, such as Ethereum. Later, it will be possible to trade many other pairs, even outside the Acuity ecosystem. Okay, so what is an atomic swap exchange? Well, the whole idea is that instead of using a centralized exchange where you have to send in funds and then you can create orders and the exchange will automatically do the order matching, with an atomic swap exchange, it enables traders to actually trade directly with each other from their own wallets that they control. So, for example, what we're working towards with the Acuity DEX is that you will be able to trade with Ethereum stored in your MetaMask wallet and with Acuity stored in your Polkadot browser extension wallet. So I'm just going to give a little progress update to show how close we are to the minimum viable product. So this is the web interface for the application. So as a seller who wishes to sell ACU for Ethereum, I will choose my Acuity account. So these accounts are provided by the Polkadot browser extension. I will specify how much Acuity I would like to sell, in this case 20 ACU. And the buy account is where I want the Ethereum to ultimately arrive. So at the moment, this is actually just the addresses you can pick are provided by the MetaMask browser plugin, but it could actually be any address. And then I also want to specify the price. So I'm creating a sell order. So what that means is it has a certain amount of Acuity that's for sale, and then I specify the price. So let's say I want to sell my Acuity for 0.001 ETH each. So I click Create Sell Order, and this will then bring up the Polkadot browser extension, because in order to create a sell order, it will actually send a transaction to the Acuity blockchain. Okay, so I enter my password and we submit the transaction. And so what happens is the off-chain worker will have received that transaction and it will have indexed the new information. So at the moment, I do need to go back and forward again in order to see the updated information in the user interface. In a later version, that will just happen automatically. So we can see that we have a sell order. So the seller, this is my account on Acuity. Later, this will be replaced by a more user-friendly name to identify the seller. We have the price and the value. So I've locked up 20 ACU and it's stored on the blockchain that I want it to be sold for 0.001 ETH. So the next step would be that a buyer comes along and they want to interact with this sell order. They want to buy some of what is for sale. So the buyer would click on this button, and then this goes to the buy order page. So at the moment, we can see there are no buy orders to match this sell order. So we can create a new one. And so it says the maximum value. So this is the size of the sell order, 20 ACU. So that's the most I can create a buy order for. Okay, so again, I specify the buy account. So this would typically be a different Ethereum address than the payment address for the seller. The buyer will specify which account they wish to pay with, and then they say how much Acuity they want to buy. So let's say I want to buy 4 Acuity, and at that point the MetaMask browser extension pops up just to confirm that transaction. Of course, this is all running on my local test nets. So I can confirm that transaction. And again, this doesn't get updated immediately yet. So I'll just go back and forward again. And so now we can see that we now have a buy lock. So first of all, we had a sell order. And then as a buyer, I've created a buy lock. So what this means is, so I've locked up the correct value of ETH. If you remember, it was buying 4 Acuity at a price of 0.001 ETH. And so the value of the buy lock is 0.004. And this Ethereum is locked up for 3 days. So there's a 3-day period for the transaction to be completed. In theory, this could be reduced significantly, but I think to start with, having a 3-day buy lock period is a good duration. Of course, the buyer is identified by their Ethereum address. So what we would really like is to use ENS or something like that, just to create a more user-friendly Ethereum address. So we have the buy lock, and then the next step would be for the seller to come in and create the sell lock. So that would be to transfer 4 Acuity from the sell order into a lock that has a timeout. So that might be a timeout of 1 day or 2 days. So we're getting pretty close to the minimum viable product. So what will happen is the seller will be able to come in and do the next step to create the sell order. Then the buyer will be able to click a button to retrieve what they have bought. And in doing so, that will reveal the secret so that the seller can then get the funds that are being paid. So ultimately, the buyer will receive their 4 Acuity from the sell lock, and then the seller will receive their 0.004 ETH from the buy lock. So we're getting pretty close to having that minimum viable product. And then, of course, we need to set it up the other way. So you can actually create an Ethereum sell order that can be bought with Acuity. Thanks for listening today. And I'll be bringing more development updates very soon. Thanks very much.